Well, thank you guys all for being here. We know that you have other things that you could be doing on a Thursday afternoon this close to the end of school. So we appreciate you taking your time to come on here and help your other members in this roundtable format. And we are going to get after it. Chelsea, can you see the slides there?
Yes, sir. Rock and roll.
All right. Welcome to this May 7th edition of the Roundtable. Of course, don't need to tell you because we've been through this for 11 months now, but of course, this is our sixth season. If you're new to this started out as a COVID update and turned into an outstanding opportunity for members to get on here and help each other out with this forum style um, presentation. Thank you all for being here. Um, these Zoom-based meetings are posted on our CTAT social media outlets, specifically YouTube for this one. And so if you do not wish to participate with your picture on social media, then you can participate with your video on off. Otherwise, your participation serves as consent to your picture being posted. There's the most interesting man in the world, and he says that today you will see a Justin Timberlake meme that says it's going to be meme. He says he guarantees it. And I always wonder, how does he know? How does the most interesting man in the world knows these things? But sure enough, he did. It is we just passed May the 4th, and of course that's Star Wars Day, and it wouldn't be happy without Yoda there. And of course, if anyone would know whether or not memes are funny, it'd be Yoda. So hilarious these memes are, says Yoda. And may the horse be with you. It took me a few minutes to figure that one out, but I did, and it's humorous. And Paul, you see, instead of saying force, it says horse right there. And so that's what makes that humorous. And he's a Jedi. Today in 1922, the old Night Stalker, Darren McGavin, my dad's favorite actor because he loved that show, The Night Stalker. He had weird TV watching habits. But he was born in 1922 on this day, May 7th. And probably most of you in here will know Darren McGavin because he was the father on the um, Christmas Story where the kid wanted the BB gun. Also, for you Gen Zers out there, and this day in 1998, Mr. Beast was born, and in 1901, Gary Cooper, one of the most famous actors of all time, he plays Sergeant York. Mr. Deeds, you might remember Adam Sandler remade that movie, but the original Mr. Deeds was Gary Cooper, and he also played Lou Gehrig in the Lou Gehrig Story. On this day in 1992, the space shuttle Endeavour actually launched on its first of many missions. And of course, the space shuttle was a long running American NASA project. Congratulations to the Endeavour. And just like the folks all on the Endeavour work together to get into space, this is how we work with CTAT to bring together all you guys to help each other out. And again, thank you for being here this afternoon. As always, thank you to the board of directors for all the work that you put in programming and just leading the organization. We say it every month, but we appreciate you. And another group that we couldn't do without that we meet at 1 o'clock on the third Thursday of every month is the area presidents. Certainly appreciate you guys all being here. Um, we know that running the area is a lot like taking on another job. So we appreciate your service in this and your leadership because a lot of the really great stuff that happens in CTE happens at the area level. Thank you so much to the area president. Of course, we have two big conferences coming up. The Forensics Conference in San Marcos is actually full. And Chelsea, do we have a waiting list or where exactly are we on that?
We do. So if you have teachers that are still interested in registering, they can join our waiting list by visiting the registration page, and we'll be in communication with them. We're also asking that if an individual knows that they're not going to be able to make it and attend, that they reach out to us so that way we can take care of next steps for them and then move people off of the waiting list onto registration. So
And it was one of these things that we really hate to put a cap on it, I know, but Chelsea, it's really the body form there that kind of limits us on how many we can have, and we're really looking forward to those tours. Is that correct, Chelsea?
that's correct. We have 3 breakout sessions at the Body Farm, and they had a capacity. And so we wanted to honor that partnership and also have our participants not just have a sit and get. They're going to have hands-on experiential learning through that Body Farm experience. And so we are we are okay with the fact that we had to cap it at 100 people total.
It's going to be an elite group, and I'm looking forward to it attending as well. Also, registration is open for the summer conference in Fort Worth. We are running a little bit ahead of registration rates from last summer. However, I encourage you to all register because the early bird registration is coming soon to end as that. So just go ahead and fill out that registration and have it in the system. And also, I encourage you to make sure you get a hotel room because we are competing with the soccer people from around the globe, partially during the FIFA Cup, the World Cup. So make sure that you get in there, register, and get your hotel room lined up. We do have, in checking with Leslie, we have extended the call for presentations. So if you do want to submit, we do have a few slots left, I think, and Chelsea helped me out here, but in talking with Leslie on Monday, we had about 90 something presentation. So we have maybe a dozen slots left. Chelsea, am I on cue there?
That's right.
And so if you do have a presentation, we encourage you to present it. And we are recruiting some select presentations. But as we always say, take something that is positive, take a highlight at your district and bring it to conference and share it. And that way folks can copy what you're doing great and take it back to their district and make it great for their students. We don't have secret plans to the V2 rocket here. We want everybody to use everybody's great stuff. So submit a presentation, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you guys at the summer conference. Our regional trainings are over. Just to recap for the year, CTE plus PEAMS plus Finance was held at Northwest ISD in Fort Worth. Thanks to Kelly Henderson and her team for putting on a phenomenal environment for us to do that in. And they presented a great presentation with her and her finance officer and their PEAMS person. Thanks to everyone that made that a success. That's certainly been a good partnership with TASBO, and we'll keep you abreast of 26, 27 days. Thank you for all the folks that are doing in the programming. Of course, the roundtable. We have our next gen group about to graduate in May, and then leadership CTAT will complete session or their second generation of leadership CTAT will complete in May too. And we'll get information out to you guys because for the next gen and leadership to CTAT, we will be hosting a reception. Anything that you want to register for that we do at CTAT, all you have to do is go to ctat.org and hit the events page. Also, we had a question that come up about stipends, and don't forget to go back into your CTAT chat and to the emails that we sent out. That CTSO sponsor advisor stipend recommendations that is available from CTAT. So if you're a district that's looking at offering or looking at solidifying your CTSO stipends, you're certainly welcome to use that document. If you're doing something great, leave it in the folder. But if you want some guidance or your district needs some guidance, there it is. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Robin for Robin's CTAT Roundup. Robin?
Hey, gang. Good to see everybody here today. Thank you for joining us and thank you for making it through this year. The finish line is upon us. So where you get to do your 4-day work week and condense 40 hours into 4 days. So let's go. We have some congratulations in order. Our members have approved the officer slate for our 26-27 officer team. And I've seen several of these folks on the call today. So Dr. Melissa Everett will be going from president-elect to the role of president. And we have Miss Amy Massey, who I know is on this call. We'd like to say congratulations to her as our incoming president-elect. Our finance chair, Rochelle Robinson, who's from Area 2. She's been serving on our finance committee for a couple of years now, and she's a former CTAT board member. And then, of course, the illustrious, the dignified, the dashing and distinguished Paul Boff will be our past president starting the end of summer conference. And we have some vacancies on the CTAT board. So with Amy's move into president-elect, Area 7 elected Renee Martinez to be their director. And Renee's on this call. Congratulations. And then Area 1, in a lot of our areas, there's a line to serve in a leadership role. And I have seen Area 1 grow so much in the past 3 to 5 years. And so they've decided to limit their director to 1 term. And so we will be saying thank you to Mark Murray as he concludes his term this summer, and we will be welcoming Miles Van to the CTAT board. So congratulations to all these folks. We have for everybody, usually, there are several who ask for opportunities to engage. So ACTE has a National Leadership Fellows program, and each state can send forward nominations. And so Texas can have 2 slots. Each state can have 2 slots. I think there's a new, and then there's an experienced fellow slot. And this is for folks who are interested in serving in a leadership role, maybe beyond Texas. Maybe in Region 4 or nationally, like we have our own Allison Vinson from Area 2, who has just been recently elected to serve on ACTE's board of directors. So it's kind of that trajectory, and it's certainly a wonderful experience. If anyone's interested, I recommend contacting Paul Boff because he has been through the program. And Jason Cooper, who was also on this call, is our current national leadership fellow from CTAT. So he's going through that right now. Both wonderful resources if anybody's interested. So our wonderful leadership CTAT grads, they will have their final meeting this month. And at their last meeting, they said, hey, we want to volunteer at conference. And what rolled out of that discussion is they're going to be paired up with our newbies. So they're going to help mentor our folks who are new to CTAT, new to the summer conference, and have multiple touch points during the conference. So we're grateful for that. Advocacy update. Guys, we're in the thick of it. Nope, it's not session, but it's interim. There are councils, work groups, task forces, interim hearings, all of the things. And we want you to rest assured that your CTAT staff, your lobbyists, we're all there. We're all in the thick of it. We encourage you to continue reaching out to your trustees, your state rep, your state senator, have them out to see your programs. The more informed they are about CTE and the more you say, hey, if you have any questions, turn to CTAT. We'll be there. We'll promote the advocacy and policy agenda that the board of directors just approved last week. And we have a membership task force working now. They're preparing recommendations for the board of directors. So last summer, we had a large number of directors rolling off the board and a large number of new ones coming on. And so we got them all in a room together to do a work session. And one of the things that came from that session was the question, how can CTAT better serve and reach more CTE teachers? How can we better support instruction? What would be helpful for our administrators? And so this task force was born out of that discussion. And so the group is working now to update our membership categories, and they're looking at a group instructional membership at a very low bargain price where you could sign up all of your CTE teachers. And it's not to take a grab from their other professional organizations. It's really more of a baseline benefit of support, informational membership about what CTE is and their role in it. So as they take this forward to the board will be looking at that this summer. So that's the roundup.
Robin, we certainly appreciate your efforts and all that you do. And I know we never tell this enough, but you really have a lot of things going with your leadership. And what about conference? What's your gut on? We're kind of a little ahead of schedule. What are you seeing out there as far as folks coming in and attending conference now that the budget's kind of stabilized?
We're hopeful. The good news is that we are pacing ahead of last year. The good news is that you guys have a lot of vendors who want to see you too. So at winter conference, we were at max capacity. We actually had to turn away 15 vendors who want to get into the CTE market. That means there are more solution providers and options for you out there. So I know that's not normally the main reason you come to conference, but there's certainly more solutions out there. I'm optimistic about summer. Being slightly ahead of pace from last year is good. And we love taking you guys to Fort Worth. We have a buyout with ICEV's social. We're doing with their help, their sponsorship. We're doing a buyout of Second Rodeo. So that's where our big party's going to be this summer, and we'll have buses that take everybody to and from there. So we are going to have a good time in addition to the learning and fellowship that you get at conference. So hope to see you there.
Thank you, Robin. Paul, I even heard Dr. McClure got a new beanie that he's going to wear to Second Rodeo. That's little bird told me.
I wonder if it's going to be bright pink like his other one.
You remember what Jughead wore in the Archies? I think it's going to look similar to that. We had our member impact awards, and Robin, I don't know if you were going to hit on this or Chelsea, or is Monique here?
I feel like if I'm quiet long enough, somebody will step in.
I am happy to review. And if Monique, if you're on here, jump in, because y'all, this would not be possible without Monique. She was an incredible asset to this process, and she took an incredible foundation that we had and just made it even better. And that's also in thanks to our awards chair, Latasha Wilson, and our incredible awards committee that we have in place. But we are elated to announce, and you'll see in upcoming social media posts and included in other communications, that we have 40 member award nominees, representative categories available, and 29 impact award nominees, representative of all categories available. So super excited for these exemplary members and stakeholders. Tough competition this year. There are some really incredible people and programs on the horizon. So our awards committee has their work cut out for them. But I know that it's going to be an incredible process, and we will celebrate them at summer conference.
And Chelsea, it's fair to say that Latasha Wilson has really taken that ball and took off with it. She is really upheld the standards of what we've always had, great awards committee members, and she's doing a fabulous job.
Absolutely.
And of course, a big double thanks to Monique. She is killing it with the awards committee. Thanks, Chelsea. All right, moving on. If I can find my clicker. Just to hit one more time on this, because we kept getting questions since last month. The Senate Bill 1191 that says that WECM courses have to count less than dual credit and AP courses. Remember that WECM is a post-secondary designation, not a high school designation. When this administrator of the address language came out, it called everything CTE dual credit, but that is not what the law says. The law says that it has to be WECM courses, which is a post-secondary designation, because you can have CTE programs that do fall into the academic dual credit, such as animal science and child development, if you're teaching it that way with your community college. And a lot of that has to do with the teacher's qualifications just as much as the course designation. So if you have any questions about Senate Bill 1191 and how that should properly be implemented at your district to follow the law, don't hesitate to give us a call. And hopefully TEA is going to come out with better guidance than they did with that to the administrator address letter. Also, if you didn't get a chance to see this in the CTAT chat newsletter, check it out. Toon Boom is one of our industry partners. And if you have an animation program and you're wanting to partner with an industry standard representative, you probably can't have a better one than Toon Boom. And they will also book a demo. You can go into the CTAT chat and click on that book a demo, and they'll take you and they'll send you a demonstration. And they're one of the leaders in the industry as far as animation is concerned, working on such big projects like Toy Story 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a new one coming out. I thought they'd killed Woody off in the last one, but I was informed that they did not. And so we are getting a Toy Story 5. But anyway, Toon Boom's a great partner, and check them out in the CTAT chat and book a demo with them if you're interested. Also, knowledge pillars. If you're looking, we see a posting on the forum, seems like once a week, that's asking about cybersecurity, graphic software, entrepreneurship, and Knowledge Pillars is one of those folks that can certainly do that. And they're having a webinar on May 20th. You can also go to the chat and hit that register now button. Just another kind of point to ponder as you're coming to the end of the school year. We at CTAT want to strongly encourage you to have a strategic pause and take time to meet with your staff and talk to them about what went well this year. Where did students have struggles? What do you need to be successful next year? And this does a lot of things in addition to helping you with planning. It also helps the teacher to take on some responsibility for success in the program. So just take time and meet with your teachers on an end of the year review. Don't make it anything judgmental. This isn't part of the T-test. It's just a way to improve instruction and to improve your program to study, completers and IBC attainment, CTSO participation. All that should be covered in your program review. I think it'll be time well spent. Now it's time to move into our monthly updates. And every time we get into this, we always like to check in and see what the lovely dogs are doing. And since this is Star Wars month, it looks like Chelsea and Angie's dogs have been dressed up on May the 4th. And you can see there that Parvo's wearing that cute little C3PO. And Angie's dog, you can just really tell, is really attached to Jasbo. And they're getting along marvelously. And we'll keep you all updated. And we'll go to Chelsea Reese for the updates. Chelsea?
I hope that mask had air holes for Jasper. I can't tell, but thank
I'm
you
sure it did.
for sharing that photo of them celebrating May 4th, your favorite holiday.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay, friends, we're going to get into updates. As always, we have our to-do list posted for you in your chat that is available to you for you to utilize monthly. And that's the very first thing that you see on your Connect CTAT chat. Program evaluations for this year are closed. However, we are encouraging you to submit dates to us for the fall semester so we can begin to schedule those. We already have a few on the horizon. So if you have dates in mind, please reach out to Mark and I and let us know.
And Chelsea, that's not saying that we won't do someone in the summer if someone needs it. It's just typically it's better if school's in session, but if someone needs it, we would do it in the summer for sure.
Absolutely. There's a great new CTAT Online Learning Center course called Budgeting Essentials. And this is a really great resource for yourself to utilize, maybe a coordinator or a campus administrator, business office administrator, but really great offering. And that is on our website for your review. Okay, when Mark and I were at the CTAT TASBO Finance, PEAMS Finance and CTE Administrator Training, we actually dug in and learned a little bit about what's quote unquote new and allowable costs with Perkins. And one of the things that stuck out to us was CTSO travel. So there are some caveats to this because if you've paid for it in the past with Pick 22 funds or even with local funds, then you shouldn't be supplanting, you should be supplementing. But CTSO travel is available to be utilized and is an allowable expense with Perkins funds. So something to review when you're looking at budgets, and we know that as our CTSOs continue to grow and as students continue to have success, there's a fiscal and financial responsibility with that. So it might be that Perkins dollars can support you in that. We also wanted to highlight, and this was in your newsletter as well, CTE advisory committees. So if you are in that planning stage of the 26-27 school year and are looking at when to have cadences of meetings, what should a meeting agenda and things like that look like, we actually do have some summer breakout sessions at CTAT Summer that will showcase this, but also just look at our CTE clearinghouse resource guide. We have tons. And I know that TEA has something in the works. I don't know when the publication date for that is, but we know that CTE and advisory committees are a mutually beneficial partnership and opportunity to continue to grow and expand your programs. And so however we can support you in that effort, please reach out. There is a 24-25 IBC reimbursement report. It's available through Teal and as well as the CCMR tracker, which just showcases, it's not where we go and verify anything, but it showcases those CCMR accountability points that you have within your student demographics.
And Chelsea, the 24-25 IBC report will show the actual settle up money in April of 2026. April of 2026 is when you see the actual settle up money for 24-25, correct?
Correct. And remember that we shouldn't be utilizing Pick 22 funds for reimbursed IBCs. So a lot of times we leave that to our business and finance office and they do the magic behind the curtain. This is just one more tool for you to have in your toolbox. So that way it's not magic behind the curtain. You're informed. You're in the know and you're able to go to your other stakeholders and formulate a plan. My friends, buckle up. If you have not started your CLNA, it's due tomorrow. So nothing that a Red Bull and a phone call can't fix. But please make sure that you submit that CLNA so you can get your Perkins application open and you can begin working on that. And if you have not started, my best resource is someone who just communicated in the chat. Please reach out to your ESC representatives. Your ESC CTE specialists have probably sent you 25 emails if you haven't started your CLNA yet. So they are your first line of support, but those are due tomorrow. And then it's ACTE's 100th birthday. That's pretty special. So ACTE Vision Conference is happening December 2nd through 5th in New Orleans. So are interested in joining us, CTAT, Mark, Robin, myself, we were there, and we look forward to a great week of learning and growing in fellowship and fun in the Big Easy. But if you are interested in that, we highly encourage you to register.
That was already on there.
We talked about this last session, but this is a big win for Education Aid 1. They lowered the age as well as they did solidify the courses line to this. And so if Miss Glasscock is on, she can kind of share that as well. But eligible students under the age of 18, as long as they meet all of the requirements and qualifications, they can earn that Educational Aid 1 certification, which is incredible. And again, a special thanks to Erica Bates and everyone on the SBOE committee who made this possible. This is a fantastic change. Mark was at a meeting where he was able to ask TDLR representatives about cosmetology. And they gave a clear-cut decision that, and Mark, I'll kind of pop it over to you so I don't have to paraphrase what you will say, but he was able to get not guidance, because guidance is written in code and statute, but it's in black and white language here, but he was able to clarify with TDLR about cosmetology. So Mark, will you share a little bit about that?
Well, it's pretty much went along the lines of our discussion, but the folks from TDLR were there, so I just kind of got them off to the side and just said, hey, just so we can tell our folks definitively. So if they're already in the program, they can finish out. They will not be able to get their license, but they will be able to finish out the program. But if you have a person that has not yet gotten a student permit, to be in a cosmetology program, they will not be issued a permit without proof of legal residence. And because of that, they are not allowed in the cosmetology lab, and the inspectors will be looking for it, and the students will be removed, and possibly the school's fined. So anyway, we got pretty clear guidance on that. And Chelsea, I think the best news is that they are scheduled right now to come speak at the summer conference in July. And not only will they talk about cosmetology, but they'll talk about just licensing and general. So how does a student earn a electrical license or HVAC or plumbing's not through them, but all the licensing and regulations that go through TDLR. So come and check out that session at summer conference.
And both of those resources, because I'm seeing this in the chat, are available in our monthly newsletter that launched on the 1st of May, as well as Mark just shared that we'll have representatives from TDLR at conference. Erica Bates will also be present, so we will encourage her to share any updated information on educational aid.
And Miss Pullen from Abilene is asking about the educational aid, and that was for public comment, but we'll take. Benna just put in there that it should take effect for the 26-27 school year. Fantastic. All right.
Hey, it's our favorite mailman, and this question came up last week. If a school purchases a vehicle utilizing 100% CTE funds, can anyone else utilize that vehicle? And we know with a resounding answer, if it's paid for out of PIC 22, it remains in PIC 22. But I actually had an administrator that their attorney in their business office reached out and they were like, oh, but that has a cap of 3 years on it. So those 3 years are up. That cap does not exist. Nowhere is that communicated or documented. And if it is, please inform me with actual documentation. But nowhere in the PIC 22 special allotment guide, FAQ, there's no time expiration. It's not 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you purchased an item with PIC 22 funds, including a vehicle, then that vehicle would remain in programming support of PIC 22.
Thank you, Chelsea. And moving on to the news section. Of course, we want to Tomball ISD has recently been in the news, especially with their superintendent, Dr. Salazar Zamora. Really couldn't have spoke more highly of their CTE program. Congratulations to all the Tomball folks. And I've wore my Tomball CTE t-shirt yesterday. So congratulations to Tomball ISD and their CTE program for outstanding work and good press. And then in the spotlight this month was our commissioner, Mike Barat. And of course, a lot of times we talk about the commissioner, but when you talk about what he's actually responsible for, it's implementing state education laws, providing leadership for all the school districts, administering state and federal funding, and setting the initiatives to impact student success. And of course, he catches a lot of grief, but he also does a lot of work. We appreciate what Commissioner Morath does for CTE in Texas. And so, that being said, I am going to stop the share and get us back into gallery mode and open it up. Questions, comments?
Well, Toby's got a sweet ride thanks to Pick 22 funds. Toby, I hope that you have extra batteries and chargers on hand because it is travel season. But that's incredible that you were able to purchase that with Pick 22 funds.
That's right.
It's
I use
Love it.
Perkins, actually. I think that's allowable.
Whoa. Don't go wild on me. And then Ms. Glasscock also submitted the information for that educational aid update in the chat. And Larry is asking if there's a link to our presentation. So Larry, we always record our presentation. If there is a specific slide or resource that you are wanting, just reach out and I'm happy to share that with you, as well as most of our slide is pulled directly from our monthly newsletter. And then
Ryan, are you on here? Can you ask? What are you looking for, Ryan?
You were referring to a CTSO, the something in the slide presentation about CTSOs, the stipends.
Oh, the CTSO, it was spending Perkins funds on that. And Chelsea, that's page 22 of the Perkins guidelines, right?
It is, but I
Page
think
4,
Ryan's specifically looking for the actual CTSO stipend guidelines. Let me
Oh,
drop
yeah.
this in the chat for you, Ryan.
We can stick that in the chat, Chelsea. I think there's a PDF in the chat. There's a PDF that I've been linking folks to. I can find it and put it in. Who else? Anyone else have any questions, comments?
Mark, it's Renee from Comal. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We may have talked about this, but I'm not remembering. TEA finally finalized all of that information about folks getting reimbursed to take an additional CTE certification exam. Does anybody know why Tech Apps is not on that list?
Ask that question one more time.
So the teacher certification list that current certified teachers are eligible to be reimbursed for, Tech Apps does not fall on that list. And I don't understand why.
Well, Tech Apps courses are CTE.
Yeah,
But
right.
on the official list of CTE certifications is older than when Tech Apps was inserted into CTE, because there's still Tech Apps courses that are not CTE. They're taught at the junior high.
Right. Okay.
And so it's and we have brought this to their attention on multiple occasions.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, here's the way it comes up most often is that, let's say you have career prep or education and training or professional communications, where it lists any career tech certification can teach that. Well, Tech Apps isn't on that list because it's old. And Tally Joe actually 2 years ago was bringing that up in that format, and it just hasn't been corrected yet, is all I can tell you. Or if they intend to correct it.
They may not, because it was in the that official letter that came out like in February. So they listed them all. They didn't even pull them from anything. That just blows me away.
Chelsea, you put that in the
Yes, and Tech Ed is listed.
It is,
but not Tech Apps.
Yeah,
well, Tech Ed is the old industrial arts certification.
Right.
And so it's kind of always been in there. But you know, it's such a funny thing, because if Tech Apps is a eligible CTE certification to teach CTE courses, then by default, doesn't that make it a CTE certificate?
You would
So
think.
yeah, exactly.
We're
I
just
wouldn't.
getting pounded by our teachers, and I'm like, I don't have an answer. For HR's asking me, I'm asking HR. I don't know.
Yeah. Let,
Okay.
let us, hey, would you mind shooting me an email with that
Yeah.
specific question on it? And
do
that
it.
way we can, I'm trying to think, that would go to Robin. You probably know better. Where would that be best addressed to? SBOE or?
I'm wondering if it's an SBEC first. Fix that recognition. We can find out.
As
Okay.
far as the teachers getting reimbursed for a certification. Oh, you're saying they reimburse them for a CTE certification, and
Right.
because that's not on the magic list.
Yeah. And so when they sent that letter, that to the
Yeah.
administrator addressed, I immediately went, oh, here we go. Tech app sitting on there. But
Yeah.
anyway.
And that's what you were saying, Chelsea. Tech Ed was on there, and
Well, and Mark, I think that kind of aligns too with, some of the courses that say any CTE certification, and then if tech apps maybe really isn't included in that, but we know it should be. But where does
Yeah.
HR land on letter of the law and all that kind of stuff?
this
Yep.
might be better for Slack communications, but in that scenario, I would treat Tech Apps as but let us work to see if we can't get that added to it, because it's just a funny one, because even though like career exploration at the junior high does not get career tech funding, but it's still a career tech class. Well, Tech Apps at the junior high is not a career tech class. Um, so it's kind of that no man's land, but let us work on it.
And so you saying that, Mark, about, the tech apps at the junior high level being that it's not CTE also means it should not be using any CTE funds. Teacher salaries should not be coming from CTE funds, should have no connection whatsoever, correct? The 6, 7, and 8 tech apps.
That is 100% correct. Yeah. You have to use Pick 22 funds on the students that are generating the Pick 22 money. It says that all over the FAS rag and also in that FAQ for the special allotments.
Correct.
So
I'm
Mark,
making
sorry.
notice of that. It's okay. I'm kind of trying to clean up some things that I'm making sure are not happening over here in my world.
So I think that's where I'm a little confused then, because that's why I put tech apps isn't a CTE class in the chat. What tech apps class is then?
Computer science is old Tech Apps, and that's a CTE course now. AP computer
Okay.
science. Yeah.
Okay. I was just thinking of the name tech apps, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't know of
Yeah.
any high school CTE class named that. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I was asking about the tech app certification that
Right.
can be used to teach some CTE courses.
But Miss Woolsey, there still are Tech Apps that's the name of the course, Tech Apps at the junior high, and those are not CTE for sure.
Right.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry that when you said that, I was thinking of our tech apps classes that we teach 6 through 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Miss Baker just brought in there correctly. It says now we have to have computer science to teach certification to teach computer science. And remember, they came in a couple of years ago and gave that waiver for all the districts. But there's still web design. Y'all have to help me. Anything that starts with an 038 in your service ID code is a Tech Apps course. That's the best way of saying it.
I may be opening a can of worms, but I want to get people's feedback on this. We know that with the teacher certifications in those academic content areas that they're going to have to be fully certified, but we also know that we have several CTE classes that are for academic credit. And I know in our region, we are having districts interpret that differently between districts. So I guess I'm waiting on further clarification of If I am an ag teacher and I'm going to teach advanced animal science, and that can be an additional science for a student, am I going to have a science certification in order for my kids to get that science credit?
Well, you won't have to have a science certification, but you'll for sure have to have a teacher certification. It can still be agriculture science, and you won't have to have a science certification. It's just, but you will have to be certified. You can't be
The
DOI,
aspect. Yeah.
right? You can't be DOI. It's just like anatomy and physiology. Health science
Yes.
teacher can teach that, but not a DOI teacher because it counts
Yes.
for core academic credit. Next year, Rick, on the 26, 27. And all that
So
information was in the February CTAT chat about actually, it was in the January and the February as far as the uh, DOI teachers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. So I know we're talking about a different type of reimbursement now for a topic I'm about to bring up, but then you can claim more than one reimbursement for an IBC. We've got that has changed. So I have asked the question of our CT specialist in our region. She's been working on trying to find the answer. Hasn't been able to get back to me yet, but maybe someone here knows. So if the IBC or the two that you're requesting reimbursement for, do they have to take place in the same school year, or can one have been last year and one this year?
Well, you could do one this year and one next year, or one last
Or
year.
that's what,
Yes. I see what you're saying. Yeah. If
yeah,
you got one last year, can you get one this year? And the answer is yes.
yeah. Okay, great. I'm doing it right then, so I'm just making sure.
That was
Laura,
House Bill 120, and that took effect in August of 2026.
Laura, thank you for sharing that breakdown. That's fantastic, especially as we wait for the new teacher assignment chart to launch. But that's also great data and documentation that we can share with TEA to say, but what about tech apps? So, Laura, thank you.
No problem.
And Chelsea, that link is live that Laura put in the chat.
Correct.
Well, I tell you what, some schools really upped their game when they hired replacement CTE directors. Just noticing, that's all. That's actually a very good one. And all right. Any other questions, comments?
I was going to ask if Laura minds if we put that in the CTE Resource Clearinghouse.
Of course.
Thank you.
Laura, that doesn't by any chance have the service ID codes. Do you have one with the service ID codes on it by any chance?
I don't, but I can probably do a little app script to add that real quick.
I'm going to tell you, I forgot commercial photography was tech apps at one time. Thank you, Ms. Stone, for posting that. All right. Any other questions, comments? Paul, anything from the president's office?
Mark, I would just like to say happy May, and we are on the downward slope, right? We are going to make it, but there's no rest for the weary. So we got to get our IBCs in and get registered for the conference if you haven't already. Exciting time back in Fort Worth, and can't wait to see you all.
And Paul, Robin was talking about you guys, you and Jason serving in those fellowship roles. You recommend that?
110%. I think Jason's in the heart of it right now, and drinking from the hot fire hose, but it's an absolutely wonderful experience. When I first went through it, I came back with my hair on fire and knew that if I was going to stick in this profession, that is where I wanted to be. So, going through that, you get to go to NPS. Jason, if you want to speak to a little bit, I know you just went to NPS and you're just starting going in that experience. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was just neat to see it just from a nationwide scale and just see how some other people are doing it. Really just kind of see what we can improve on in Texas. It was really neat to be able to sit in on the board meeting and talk to your legislatures and try to see what we can advocate for and just kind of that whole process. So I absolutely loved it. We're doing a cohort that we meet once a month virtually. So I met Tuesday night, and yeah, we've been able to connect once a month, and a really good group. So enjoyed the experience.
Well, my question, Jason, what's the time commitment like for that?
So the meetings that we do once a month is an hour and a half. We're going through a book study as well, and then we have different assignments along the way. And but it's not really too extensive. The For the national fellows, it is a requirement to go to the NPS, which we did back in what was that, March, February, March, and then also the national conference as well. So we'll be there in New Orleans at ACTE, but. I mean, the time commitment, I mean, it's nothing too exhaustive, but I mean, I think you get out of it as much as you want to put in. It's really the networking outside of it that it doesn't seem like too much time is being taken away from it.
Well, we appreciate you guys. And Peggy, you just got back from the Region 4 ACTE. How'd that go for you? You feel
We
good?
did. I didn't place on the next level, but it was a great conference and learned a lot of good things from our neighbors all around us, and so I enjoyed going.
How did your interview go? I know you killed it.
Well, you're very kind. They did virtual interviews a few weeks before the conference, and so then they just did the announcements that day. So Oklahoma won this time, but I know one of the nominees that Chelsea was talking about a while ago. We'll get somebody in there next time.
Well, ACT's got to take pity on those Okies every now and then. So I'm sure that was a sympathy vote. Thank you so much for representing us. We couldn't have picked anybody better.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Mark, we also had a teacher from Pasadena. We were there cheering on Peggy, and but we had a teacher from Pasadena there, and so of course Round Rock was there. We had Brazosport was there. Owen from Brazosport, and even had Madisonville there. Had some teachers there, so we had a really good representation from Texas this year. If anybody hadn't been to that Region 4 ACT conference, it's really a good one to go to. You ought to think about it.
David, how did the teacher from Pasadena feel about their stuff? Pretty good experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I got to talk to him a little bit, and of course, we had a great time, and I think the learning experience is just to be able to see what other states are doing. Kind of what Jason said, just seeing what's going on around the states is really interesting, and what other districts are doing. It's a great networking opportunity, and so. But yeah, the competition is tough. They got some really good teachers and administrators, and we were rooting for all the Texas people. But of course, ICEV is nationwide now, so we got to be careful who we root for. But of course, I was pulling on for the Texas folks. So
We know who you guys are really rooting for.
that's right. That's right.
All right. Any other comments?
Mark, I have one more comment. It's Renee. Hey,
please.
Angela Baker posted in the chat that there's a new teacher assignment chart that says it's March 2026. I have been waiting for that and I don't see it. How do we access that? Where is it?
It is brand new, and they sent that out.
Oh, I must have missed it.
Let's see. Benna's in here, and I know she can post the link to it. Is it not on the page yet?
I'd be happy to speak to it because where I always find it is through TEA's website, and I access educator testing.
Yep.
And scroll down to the personnel assignments, and it's in there, chapter, I think 130 or 131. because I noticed it had updated too in March.
Chapter.
I'll put it in the chat, just the
That would be amazing.
It's in the chat.
directions.
Chapter 231.
Same thing. I was never good with history.
Well, I was just, it just popped up on my computer is why I even said anything.
Can we hide it any better?
No doubt.
I mean, shouldn't that be on the CTE or on the, so that we can actually see and find it? And Googling it doesn't help.
No.
Rick, that's a great recommendation that we can share with TEA to include it in their resources page. Because I think that would be a win for them too, if they're allowed to like cross-reference post things.
Well, my HR department's been emailing me daily. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Nope. So
Okay,
they don't know where to find it. So
that link I put in the chat just now, that is the March 2026 update. Is that the same one you were referencing?
Is it a chart like what we used to have?
Well, it's just that's chapter 231 of the
I see it.
Texas Administrative Code. And then you have to scroll down.
Yeah, if it says March 2022, that's got to be the most accurate one. And it looks like yours that you dropped in there does show that. It to whoever, I wasn't paying attention at the time, but you're absolutely right. To find it doesn't necessarily make sense where you would go, but I somehow found it.
I'm looking for that nice chart that they used to have by course, and then on the right hand side, that is not this.
They've changed it. It's been this new format for a couple of years now. And so, but again, I always go through the process that I know to find it so that I get the most up to date one versus a PDF link.
Wow.
And also, some of the courses they'll all lump in like ag, they'll lump 25 courses together and then spell out the ones that are different.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, that old chart was pretty cool because it had that green button beside you. Just clicked on it and
this is terrible. Sorry.
Thanks, Toby.
Thank y'all.
Agreed with Martinez.
It's awful.
I'm sure no one said this, but keeping all those buttons up to date, you would have had to have changed every button. So I'm sure that's why they went back to the old, they went old school on it.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility that we can request the old teacher assignment chart format? I mean, if we're going to ask them to do something.
Unreal.
Now everything is right there in that one PDF, Rick.
Yeah, it's there.
You just can't go course by course. I know what you're saying.
Well, we're building all those data centers in our state. Why don't we lean on AI to help us out?
AI would probably do it pretty quick, but I never trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get something in the wrong spot, we get in trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank y'all. This does help. It's not the greatest format, but it helps.
Well, thank you. Toby, you do say you just typically Google TAC 230. How did you say you typically got to it?
I somehow found it, but I navigate it. I specifically navigate to it by going to the TEA's website, hover over Texas educators, and under certification categories, select educator testing. And up towards the top, you have to squint and find Texas Administrative Code, and it takes you to another area of the website and find chapter 231, and it pops open.
If you will Google teacher assignment chart 231, it pops up fairly easy.
Yeah, and Miss Gonzalez just put this in the chat, but you can, from the CTE page, like click on CTE teacher resources, and then it gives you the link. You just have to.
Is that link, because that link used to be old, is it still a good one?
I think so.
Hang on, I'm following it right now. So that's in a teacher resources. certification requirements.
Oh, that takes you to the old one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they don't update it, Rick.
New one, because I've found it that way before, the new one.
All right. Any other questions, comments? That's been a good one. If not, then I'm going to stop the recording and we can go into the Slack. Thanks all of you for being a part of this recording.